Hey everybody, this is Gerhard de Beer, former Green Bay Packer offensive lineman, and you're watching Frozen Tundra Network with Bill the Packer fan and Packer owner Nick. Enjoy.
Give him that anymore. I can't do this where I'm going to try to find ways that I can explain why Aaron Rodgers shouldn't be blamed, because he absolutely needs to be blamed for this game. Absolutely.
We went 13-3. Like, of course they're going to be critical, and honestly, they kind of have a right to be.
That's why I'm so disappointed as a Packer fan in Aaron Rodgers and even Matt LaFleur, because even though it was the special teams, it still falls on him. He does the hiring and firing.
You know, they got Rodgers. I mean, they don't have to give up so much, and they don't got the capital to actually go after Rodgers, tell you the truth.
If Rodgers stays, we're going to most likely tag Devontae Adams, and then we'll work something out a little bit later.
What's going on, Mike? This is Desmond Clark, former tight end of your Chicago Bears.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Halas Hall Report.
Defense has been playing too good. So I'm going to take the Bears in a rare shootout.
I mean, if that offensive line, we get some help for that one. We in our draft and everything, we need to focus on our offense.
You know, he's going to be on a roll here today. I think he's at least going to have 2 sacks.
Doing it all year long, so if you stop those 2 guys, who else they got?
Robbie to go. I mean, he took out Aaron.
Go that touchdown, got the 1-point lead with 61 seconds left.
Dalton runs the offense a little better than Fields, as long as the offensive line can somewhat hold up.
You're on mute.
Welcome to the Frozen Tundra podcast. That gets me every fucking week, huh, Nick? We got a special show tonight. We got some of the Bears podcast people on here tonight. You want to go around and introduce everybody there, Nick?
Sure. We got Mike the Bear fan. He runs a show called Halas Hall Report. Why don't you go ahead and elaborate on that, Mike?
Yeah, we go live twice a week, usually Wednesday and Sunday morning. Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time and 10 a.m. on Sunday.
Introduce who you brought with you today on this show.
I got CJ. I also have Samantha and Bear fan Dan.
And CJ also does a podcast. If you want to give your show a shout out too, bro.
Yeah, the CJ Scott podcast is on Mondays at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time on the Chicago Clubhouse podcast via the Chicago Clubhouse Network.
Right on. All right. And, of course, you got your co-hosts here. Bill, the Packer fan.
Yes,
you got
sir.
Nick Green. You got Simon. And we got John Dorn, of course. Now, let's go ahead immediately. Something just struck me right away in the comments. Let's go ahead and talk about this real quick. Is Khalil Mack getting traded, Bears fans? Is that what it has come down to with your team at this point?
I do not think he's going to get traded. It just seems like they're going to keep him along with Quinn and along with some other along with Quinn and the front line as far as maybe Akeem Hicks, but I think as far as Mack is concerned, I don't think they're going to get rid of him.
All right. Well, I'm just going to be honest. I actually think Khalil Mack is as good as gone. Wasn't he just in?
But if they trade him off, though, isn't there like a dead cap hit or something?
I think he's like 24, 20 something.
Yeah, like I don't even think it's feasible that they can trade him at this time.
Yeah, but they were trying to trade him. They were trying to trade him before the draft last year.
Let's say that he comes back. Is it not like it's feasible to me that he just gives up on you guys again? He just doesn't look like he's playing his hardest. That's what it looked like.
Well, it's a new coaching staff now. He might actually want to play.
Maybe. I mean, Bears fans think differently. Hey, more power to you. I mean, we all think Rodgers is coming back, right?
I don't think Mack's going anywhere, but I would like to see him do a better job because I think he kind of sucked last year. Made no impact really at all.
Wasn't he hurt?
like half the
Yeah, he had like 6 sacks or something. Then he was gone for the rest.
Let me ask you a question, Simon. Was he hurt? I mean,
I don't know. It's tough to say. You can only take what's given to you.
It's like, was Allen Robinson hurt, or was he just not running his routes? Like, there was so much.
Hey, you guys got to excuse this guy, Tony Rome White. He's only 12 years old, so you got to bear with him. He's not, you'll see.
It's all good.
Justin Fields, as far as Allen Robinson goes, Justin Fields throws more to Mooney than he does to Allen Robinson. So
because he worked with Mooney in the offseason, though.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
I think the other aspect to it too is everyone kind of knew how Allen Robinson felt about the Bears before the season even started last year.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
That was more so of Matt Nagy, I think is what it was.
Yeah, probably.
I'm kind of curious on what the Bear fans think of their new coaching staff.
Shit, I don't know what to think about him because it's not even preseason yet. So,
are you happy? Are you happy with the picks? What's up, Woody? What's up, Robert? What's up, Skull Johnson?
I mean, so much of it is like yet to be determined. We don't get some no name people. They might be amazing and they might suck. We're just gonna have to ride it out. It's exciting to have a whole new group, but we don't know if they're proven or anything yet.
See, that's what I like. That kind of scares me as a Packer fan. That you guys got somebody unproven because you never know what you're going to get now.
Yeah.
Just like with Matt LaFleur, granted, he's got Aaron Rodgers, and I consider that like a cheat code, but you can still tell he's a damn good coach. You know what I mean? So.
I don't know. The Packers had a pretty decent overhaul of coaches this year, too.
Yeah.
Especially on special teams, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Special teams, yeah.
But, Matt LaFleur came out today and said that he was a hell of a coach and he probably deserved to be a head coach for what he did in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see, obviously. Our special teams hasn't been good since like 2007.
Can't get any worse.
Yeah. There's only one direction to go.
Yeah, the special teams hasn't been good since before we drafted Nick Barnett. I don't. It's been so bad. I mean, look at when we even played, just for example, the Bears. We almost lost that game because of special teams. We literally almost lost that game because of special teams. I'm ready for this new guy who was the interim head coach of the Raiders. Clearly, he does something well, because if he was an interim head coach, you don't just get handed that. When the coach, obviously Gruden had to take a step back, but so I'm excited. I think there's still a lot to be done, like maybe not having linebackers on your punting team, trying to block help block for your punter. That'd probably be the first thing you do. I don't even know what to say about that anymore. Get rid of Crosby, get rid of the whole special teams. Let's start over.
Yeah.
I think Crosby's on his way out anyways. We signed that kicker.
Yeah, we already had a guy on our practice squad last year anyways.
So I don't know if this is correlated, but I sent him some really nasty letters, and then the very next day they were looking for a new kicker. So
that's funny.
This wouldn't be the same show if we didn't talk about, at this point, I think you might as well call him God, because his name is Aaron Rodgers, and he's talked about every 0.13 seconds. I saw a stat on that. It was true. So what do you guys think about it's looking like Aaron Rodgers is coming back, right? And there's all this bullshit about he tried to get traded to the Broncos last year. It literally says around these things, rumor. People just believe anything these days, man.
Oh, yeah. Darcy was trying to convince me that Devontae Adams was in Detroit today. Okay, buddy.
No, and Khalil Mack was riding in a limo in Detroit.
He wouldn't even go there to eat dinner. You know what I mean?
I'll bet you Bears fans, go ahead and chime in. I'm willing to bet that you're probably as sick of hearing about it as we are at this point, right?
I mean, he's going to be back, but I still think he's trash.
Now, do you remember this conversation, Samantha, about 2 months ago? You said, Bill, do you really think he's coming back?
Well, things change, Now I say yeah, he's coming back.
I love it.
Well, I knew that he was coming back when they hired that coach to come work with them.
Clarence.
Yeah, he was actually retired too.
Mm-hmm.
No, real talk.
Yeah, he's gonna make Jordan Love better than Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Real talk. I want him to come back because I want one of those linemen to put Aaron Rodgers on his ass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
4
always
times.
hoping for a nice decapitation during a game. So
God damn.
Yeah.
You guys are brutal.
It just sucks. What is it? 3 years now? You guys ain't beat us.
I see this. It goes both ways for us. Like we like that Justin Fields is your quarterback because the defense doesn't have to move and will intercept the ball still.
I mean, if that's the case, y'all should have blew us out by 20 or 30 points then.
Hey, a W's a W and L's an L, and we had a W for 3 years now.
He's got legs.
that's going to change.
He's got legs, but he's got to be protected.
That's what I was told last year too, though, and the year before, and the year
How many
before.
times-
That's just like Detroit, man.
How many times was Justin hurt last year? Didn't he have like 3 injuries?
He was running for his life.
I think it all started with that Browns game. I don't even know how he finished that game. To be honest, that was actually hard to watch.
9 sacks. It's like every time he got a sack, it's like start to cringe. It's like, oh, you got to be kidding
Yeah,
me.
but there was a few times where he got like hit and he didn't even know the guy was like there. Like that was an ugly game. I felt bad for the kid. I like watching the Bears lose, but I feel bad when I see stuff like that. I don't care who you are.
He shouldn't have even been out there.
I agree. I said that at the beginning of the season.
Paid Dalton what, $11 million? Pay him $11 million or however much it was to be the punching bag for the year. Don't pay him that much to make your rookie the punching bag. That's what I don't get.
Right. He was supposed to be.
Well, you might as well trot Foles out there then. Like, why?
Did once.
Yeah.
Especially with the way the rest of the team was, there was no point in putting him out there and risking him being injured bad like that.
But Nagy was the only one that had something to lose because he knew he was losing his job.
Right, he
so
was trying to save his job.
Yeah, he was hoping for a miracle.
I think if they would have kept Dalton in, he would have saved his job, to tell you the truth. I think Dalton would have won more games.
That's probably true, honestly.
Simon says no.
I don't think that's true at all.
So how about this? You get rid of Fields, right? That's the right move to make. You trade for Jordan Love because you know he's good, and we keep Aaron Rodgers.
Jordan Love. Jordan Love would be great.
Hey, we'll give you Love for 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Might as well bring the
being an owner, I'd sign off on that.
Khalil Mack and 2 first-rounders.
We could do that too, but they got to pay half his salary.
Yeah.
You know, like the Julius Peppers deal.
Yeah, Khalil Mack is way overpaid.
Hey, Tony, you're right. I didn't see the Packers in the Super Bowl, but I haven't seen the Bears in the Super Bowl since I was in grammar school, bro. Like, I think that year, I actually think in 85, Velcro was actually invented. So ponder on that there, Tony.
Great year.
I really like this comment. My mother, for once, decided not to roast me on my show. But you're right. The fact that the players, like, for example, Kurt Bankert, like the players are definitely rallying around Aaron Rodgers right now. They're trying to make it so, like, hey, everybody, why don't you just leave the guy alone until what happens happens? I mean, even as a Packers fan who would love to see Aaron Rodgers back, you hate watching this every day. I'm getting sick of it. I turn on the TV and I'm like, okay, so now Aaron Rodgers is going to play for the Toronto Argonauts this week, I guess. Like, I don't.
But they do it because people watch. I mean, they're not telling us the news. It's like the news. It's not news. It's entertainment, you know, whatever makes people keep watching and talk about it.
It's like that Skip Bayless effect where you just sit there and you go, who listens to this idiot? But then you're like, but I'm watching. Like, why?
You're listening, yeah.
Like, I just saw an article on Bleacher Report that popped up that said Aaron Rodgers is undecided. It's like, no shit.
I think that too.
Woody. What's up? Hey, last week Woody said I didn't acknowledge him on the show. So
Woody
what's
said he
up,
couldn't
Woody?
make it, but here he is talking in the chat.
Yeah, he can make it to troll the comments, but he can't make it to the show.
He's pulling the Benson.
Yeah. He misspelled it.
That's funny.
You know, one thing we're mentioning about Fields and asking about our coaches we just got. Interesting to see what our offensive coordinator will do, since he was your quarterback coach.
Yeah,
and that should be interesting to see. You know,
I like how there's Vikings fans on here trying to talk when
Actually, I have one. I have one coming on here very shortly.
Uh-oh.
Is it the one that thinks that Kirk Cousins is better than Josh Allen?
Yeah, that's one.
I'm not sure about that.
You know if it's him.
Is it the one that bet me $100 that the Vikings will be better than the Bills this year?
Now that might be it.
Yeah, they're stacked.
That must be some
Did you see
bomb-ass
Rappaport's
leagues,
most
smoking.
recent tweet? No, why don't you go
No,
ahead
I
and fill
didn't
us
see
in
it.
on that?
What was the tweet?
If it wasn't about Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure nobody cares. But let's get back to the Bears. You guys got a new coaching staff. You got a quarterback that we've seen. I'm not going to say that we've seen what we're going to see from him forever or anything like that. That's not fair to pin on him. He had a horrible team, horrible coach, bad situation. But you could definitely point out some sort of flaws that need to be fixed with the young man. What do you guys realistically think that you do this year with all this new crazy shit that happened in the Bears organization?
It's
I mean,
definitely going to be
hopefully he gets-
interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, CJ.
And I was gonna say, hopefully he gets time to throw back there. You know, it's kind of hard to see what the kids got when you're running for your damn life. Every 2-3 seconds, you're snapping a damn ball. So he definitely needs time back there. That's for one. But I think one of the main things he has to work on is to not so much depend on one receiver, so much to learn how to turn your head a certain way, learn how to look at your first target, your second target, your third target, and just let the ball go, And I think he was too dependent. He was pretty much looking at Mooney most like 90% of the time of the game.
He did get into the tight ends a little bit, but I agree with you 100%. But hopefully they can get somebody. I'm not saying free agency or anything, but we need receivers.
Yeah,
and
Robinson.
the first thing that they said was they're going to fix our offensive line. I really
Yeah, I'd
hope
say
they
you guys
do.
definitely still need work on the O line for sure.
Yeah, big time.
Mm-hmm.
But not just the O, but the defense is switching to a 3-4 to a 4-3. So like it's all new.
If I
Sounds
could
like
say,
a rebuild.
If I could say one thing that I really don't like about Justin Fields, and this is like mechanically, is usually when you see a really nice thrown ball, for example, like Russell Wilson, it's got a lot of arc to it. It's got nice touch to it. It's almost like when you shoot a three. If you got nice touch, it's really soft on the rim. There were, and I'm not saying he didn't have moments where he threw touch passes, but it seemed like a lot of time he was trying to kill the ball into the receiver's hands when all you had to do is just kind of just give a little nice touch pass. He seems very hell-bent on throwing a Brett Favre fastball for whatever reason. I don't know why. I saw a lot of that last year.
I think we see a lot of that on all of our quarterbacks on the Bears because you have no protection and you better hurry up and get rid of the ball before you get your ass smashed to the ground. I mean,
Plus, he was a rookie, and not very many quarterbacks do real good the rookie year.
Well, everybody, welcome Dumbass to the show.
Welcome, dumbass.
I heard that shit y'all said about me too.
Well, no, why do you got your name Dumbass?
I don't know who put that there, but we all.
I was just reading your name. That's why I introduced you.
So
at least you
Jamez,
spelled it right.
I want you to give me a clear, I want you to give me a very concise argument as to why you think Kirk Cousins is actually better than Josh Allen, because I think some of the people here haven't heard
I've
this.
already I'll add that in because I've already explained this to you and John Dorn and many others a few different times. When I say that, I'm not talking about overall team success like he's a better leader or anything like that. I'm saying if you look at these last few years, the stats and the defense that motherfuckers had. Dude, before he got crybaby Stephon Diggs, he wasn't talked about as a top 10, top 15, not even a top 50. Dude, he was like the 21st ranked quarterback until he got a crybaby. There's a lot of fucking quarterbacks in this league right now. If you give him a good ass defense, and you give, not gonna lie, Stephon Diggs, even though he's a crybaby, he's a damn good wide receiver. He's elite. So if you give a motherfucker that, of course they're gonna look better than they did before. And he played damn good this year, but. Dude, super value Kirk Cousins. That's what he is.
Dude, I'll never get that last minute back in my life ever.
Super value Kirk Cousins, bro. He's not that good, bro.
That's not even a comparison.
He's not that good. Just like Stafford, even though Stafford's a bad motherfucker, Stafford's not even better than Kirk Cousins. He's not.
Oh man.
He's not.
I'm
going to a stack ass.
Did you just say Matthew Stafford isn't better than Kirk Cousins? Is that what you said?
He's not.
Wow.
He's not.
He's got to be high on that goddamn ditch weed, I tell you.
I'm about to roll some up right now, but the thing about it is, you guys.
I hope that weed got brain cells in it for you.
You know what the problem is with you guys around here? You guys let these bullshit analysts that's on the TV and all these Facebook bullshit alter your mind about you guys instead of watching the game and actually breaking down a player's talent. You guys don't do that.
Hey,
Josh Allen is not that good, bro. You guys really believe in your head right now that Josh Allen's a top 5 quarterback. I say bullshit.
Yes. Nick, you want to take that, Nick?
Yes.
What is it? Can you explain to me what it is that Kirk Cousins does better than Josh Allen? Like what is it that he
better
actually
than any
does?
other quarterback?
What he's better than him at?
Yeah.
He can toss that rock way better than motherfucking Josh. He's way more accurate with that goddamn ball. He can't spin that motherfucking like Kirk Cousins.
I don't agree with that. Let's go around. Let's go around.
I don't see Josh Allen's motherfucking receivers around this bitch breaking records.
I don't see Kirk Cousins either.
Didn't Stephon Diggs lead the league in yards?
You got one dude, Justin Jefferson.
Did he break any goddamn records?
You got one.
Man, shut up.
Right.
Did he break any?
He sounds watered down than a mother.
What records has Stephon Diggs, bro?
It's like a rookie record, right? That you're talking about, a rookie record?
When your quarterback could beat somebody else besides the Bears on Monday night, then come holler at him.
Bro, Justin Jefferson has 2 motherfucking NFL fucking records already. He's only in his 2nd year, bro. You think he's just doing that alone? Is he throwing the ball to himself?
Well, I mean, if you say he's good, any quarterback can throw it to him. He'll make some plays.
So now you're. Oh, wait a minute. So now you're just telling me that Jefferson.
I said, if you say he's good, any quarterback should be. Any quarterback should be.
I'm about to say, are you saying Jefferson is just so good?
Let me ask you this, Mr. Skull Johnson. With the report coming out today that Mr. Kirk Cousins says he is not taking a pay cut for the Vikings, what's your thoughts on that, sir?
I believe that wouldn't be a. I don't think that would be a smart move for Kirk. You know, I like him and I support him, but at the end of the day, as good as he is, I will be the first to announce this. Well, I've said it many times over the months and at least year. He's not worth the amount that he's due to get. I can't even lie about that. No,
he's due to get $35 million off this year, really. $45 million of a cap.
How many playoff wins does he have?
Well, I don't know. He had 0 before he came to Minnesota. I know that.
How many Monday night wins does he have?
He had 0 of those before he came to Minnesota too.
And what was the only team that he ever won on Monday night?
How many double-digit wins?
What the hell difference is that supposed to mean? What difference is that?
The Bears were in a rebuild, and you're bragging about winning on a Monday night.
They were in no fucking rebuild.
That win don't even count. So in my books, he still ain't even won on Monday night.
It only counts when he loses, right? Y'all are something else, man. At the end of the day,
the most fucking win season he had was 10-win season.
All right, let me ask y'all a question.
Hold on. This brings me to my next point. Who's going to have the better defense next year? The Vikings or the Bears?
Nick, you're already $100 down before this season even starts. You better be careful.
He bet me $100 that the Vikings would be better than the Bills this year.
Yes, so that means you already lost $100. But my question is, y'all. Okay, see how y'all want to talk about Kirk Cousins? He's this and that. I've never said he's elite. I've never said he was better than Rodgers. All I'm saying is, as of right now, he's a top 10 quarterback. He's better than what you guys say. When's the last time you've seen a motherfucker with the 28th ranked defense in the season with 33 motherfucking touchdowns and 7 interceptions? And also throwing over 4K.
Didn't Aaron Rodgers throw 45 touchdowns when he had the worst ranked defense in the league?
That motherfucker ain't never had no 28th ranked defense.
Worse.
What?
Right.
When was that?
You're talking.
2011 gave up the most.
He ain't never had the worst defense ever.
Hey, Nick, you got to talk slow. You got to talk slow. You don't understand.
In 2011, the Green Bay Packers gave up the most passing yards in a season in NFL history. Go look
Well, it's
that
not
up.
hard when you got bodies dropping like fucking flies. Y'all make it seem like the talent level wasn't there. It's not his fault.
No, the
It's
talent level wasn't there.
He doesn't get he doesn't get points because motherfuckers don't get in the weight room. Half the team.
He had a running game even.
He had a running game
that year.
Didn't he have cheeseburger, Lacey?
No.
It's actually Chinese food, Eddie. Lacey.
Oh, we had Ryan Grant who got hurt again. We had Brandon Jackson and James Starks that year.
All right, guys, I'd like to introduce you to Darcy.
I thought he had cheeseburger. I thought that he had cheeseburger Lacey. Him and McCarthy, that motherfucker, they started hanging out. The
Lacey was 2014.
14.
If I'm not right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a couple years later.
All I know is, dude, you can't compare what Aaron Rodgers does to motherfucking Cousins. Like I say, Kirk is good, but he's not on the Rodgers level, bro. So that's
Is Goff better than Cousins?
I expect Aaron Rodgers to do that. I don't. You don't expect Kirk Cousins to perform with a weak ass defense like that.
Hey, Skull. 2011 Packers defense, 32nd in the league in yards allowed.
Boom.
God damn.
Hey, everybody. Welcome Ozzy Osbourne to the show.
we got a Slappy on the show. Let's let some of the other people talk, though. I asked the question. The Vikings fans thought that their defense was going to be the best defense in the North last year. This year, who are you going with? Whose defense is going to be the best in the North this year? I mean, I honestly think that the Lions are coming up. I think the Vikings got the worst defense in the North. I really do.
I can agree to that.
I agree.
I think they got the worst offense in the North too.
The best? You mean the best offense?
No, I said the worst.
Everyone else, come on, give your opinions.
It's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
With this guy, he doesn't want to hear from us anymore.
Darcy,
what's going on, you?
So, Darcy, let me ask you this. Hey, Darcy, let me ask you this. Mr. Skull Johnson over here says that Kirk Cousins is 10 times better than Goff. What's your opinion on that?
Kirk Cousins, I think they're comparable. Realistically, the jury is out with Jared Goff, right?
I think the jury's been out like 2 years ago.
Well, he went to a Super Bowl, not like Aaron Rodgers did.
Aaron Rodgers actually won when he went to the Super Bowl.
So Darcy, now that you're a Rams fan, what Jamez did say though, he literally just said this, was that Kirk Cousins is better than Matt Stafford. I'm not joking. He literally just said that.
Yeah, he did say that too.
No. Nick the small dick. I never said I was a Rams fan. I was only doing that for the group just to cause entertainment. That's what I do.
You didn't invest into a Detroit Rams jersey, did you?
How come your shirt is a darker blue, like a Rams blue then? Look at that.
Yeah.
Nick the Dick, shut the fuck up.
So, Darcy, what's your opinion on Kirk Cousins being a better quarterback than Super Bowl winning Matthew Stafford?
I don't think he's better than Matthew Stafford. I think Kirk Cousins is basically fucking dry fucked with no Vaseline, the Vikings in the ass, and fucking he is the number three fucking highest paid NFL player because of him and his agent. So, and he has no talent.
Okay.
I can officially say I for once agree with Darcy. Wow.
Oh my God! I got a fucking slappy. I got a fucking Green Bay slappy that's so delusional agreeing with me. Oh my God!
If he has no talent, why do you guys expect him to do so much shit if he's just straight garbage?
He's an average quarterback there, Soak.
He's average. Yeah, he. That's what I'm saying. He's above average, but he's definitely better than Goff and Stafford. Stafford ended up in a good situation. We all knew he was good. We all knew he was. We all knew that.
Everybody, this is also Halas Hall Report Bears show that's intertwining with our Frozen Tundra Network show. So, Mike, I'm gonna let go of being host for a little bit. You're now the host. You take the reins and you get your Bears show back on track.
Back in 1985.
All I heard was ask about the Bears. We didn't hear
Another
much
person
about
saying
the Bears.
1985.
Yeah, 1985, there was beta tapes out. Velcro was invented. Cell phones were in bags. That's pretty interesting.
Betty White was not as old.
I would have fucked Betty White. I would have fucked Betty White back in 1980.
Darcy, I think you would fucking blow him down, bud.
Darcy said he would have tore that motherfucker up.
That's necrophilia,
Well,
right?
I was born in 1973, so I would have been 12. So I would have had lots of sperm.
Hey, Darcy, can I ask you this? Is your social security number really 1?
No, it's 222
0,
Republic
0,
Drive.
0, 0, 1.
That's like if the Lions playoff, the last time the Lions won a playoff game, if that was a social security number, it'd also be.
But hey, let's put a plug out for Darcy's page. He's a Ozzy Osbourne impersonator, and he's got his own page on Facebook. He does do birthday parties and stuff.
Phil, why do you treat me this way? Why do you make me feel so bad? Like I went 3 wins this year, and I went 3 or whatever.
Hey, at least you got a win. You didn't have to bust the brown bag out.
But guess what? We beat your asses, didn't we?
We only had to sit 90% of our starters.
Well, we beat your asses, didn't we?
Hey, Bears fans, I think Darcy brings up a good point. Bears fans, would you be happy if your daddy wasn't playing and you won?
Actually, I'd rather, for once, I'd like to see us beat him. One more, another time.
But if you guys beat the Packers, right, and Rodgers didn't play, would you be happy about that, or would you be like, damn it, why didn't Rodgers play?
I'd rather beat Rodgers.
Yep.
I agree.
Otherwise, we just have to listen to all you bullshitters be like, Rodgers didn't even play, and then,
I would only do that like 100 times before I stopped. So you could still.
Dude, Nick, you got to understand. Beating up on the Packers without Rodgers is like taking advantage of it's like taking candy from a baby, dude. It's just not fair.
Yeah. I can't argue with that. We suck without Rodgers.
No. Hey, y'all kicked our ass. I'll give you a prime example. What y'all did to Sean Mannion when we came to Green Bay, that was uncalled for. You just ran it up
he's
on
the same thing as Kirk Cousins. It's like the same thing.
No, he's the same thing. He's better than Jordan Love, so that should tell your ass what would have happened to you if he would have been in there.
I like violent football though, so I'm cool with like Rodgers starting and then we seriously injure him. And then we win while he's out. I'm cool with that.
Did you guys try that one time?
Wow.
I
love it. We're out here saying we feel bad for Justin Fields getting his ass kicked versus the Browns. They're out here to kill Rodgers.
I know. I'm pretty sure that happened, and then we came back from 20 points or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that too. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, when you beat one leg.
Yeah, Packer fans ain't shut up about that shit. Yeah, Rodgers kicked your ass on one leg, motherfucker.
Hey, that motherfucker was high as shit, though.
In half a game.
He
was.
Took a steroid hit.
Bro, they were like, how'd you do it, Rodgers? And he went, yeah.
Hey,
I'm still their daddy.
He got some of John Doran's secret recipe.
Small Dick Nick and Simon and Bill the fucking Packer slappy. What do you think your record's going to be this year?
It's definitely going to be better than your Detroit Rams.
Oh! I've been right the last 3 years. I'm going 4 years in a row, baby. We're going to go 13 wins again for a third year in a row.
Damn. I say we're going 14-3.
Yeah, you better stop. You better stop saying stuff like that.
I mean, look at. The NFC North.
Hey, Jamez, we're not Viking fans, bro. We actually win games.
I'm trying to warn you guys, okay?
That's what you said.
I think the Vikings
I'm gonna wait
3 years in a row. Blow 500.
Rodgers isn't going to have as good as the team as he had last year.
Simon,
neither is Kirk Cousins because the team he had last year was already trash.
Kirk Cousins' team is going to be even better.
Hey, who do we lose so far? That's worth
it ain't so far. Don't. Who said that? Don't make me, Jamez. Don't make me come on. Ain't nobody ducking no smoke from your Care Bear.
Look at it.
Let's be honest, guys. The only significant.
We don't want no smoke from old Woody.
The only
Woody's my guy, but he knows I'm not ducking no smoke from him. No, the thing I'm telling you right now, bro. You're still gonna have to sign all these fucking rookies. You guys are just now halfway of getting clearing that. You're just now halfway clearing that.
Are you talking about cap space? You're still negative 16 mil. You're still negative 16 mil, little fella.
I just read that they're giving us
Who's
back
gonna be Rodgers?
like 5.5
You
mil.
guys,
right?
you guys
actually
are missing.
we're negative 29 as soon as we cut Zadarius Smith. that takes off 15.9, and then we reconstruct one contract and then a couple other. Look, Jameis, we'll have $40 million. And then Jameis is going to be here live with his crooked ass one.
Simon,
you know what your problem
they
is?
did that?
Like $7 million or
You guys have problems. You need game changers on both offense and defense. We're only focused on one area. Our offense is set, buddy. We're going straight defense. We're going defense.
Line is suspect.
Offensive line.
Your secondary is suspect.
What are
Dude,
you
our
doing?
You got some issues there, sir. You got issues.
Our offensive line is blocked as better as it had in the last 15 fucking years.
Your offensive line is as good as a wet paper bag, bro.
Your best player fucking doesn't play full seasons. He fucking gets hurt every year. Your best player.
One-year rental.
I've heard all that bullshit. Dude, listen. You guys don't have game changers on defense, first of all.
You don't
And
have game
second of
changers
all,
on offense or defense.
you guys.
That's the problem.
Are you fucking
I'm
high?
sorry.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna tell you.
Rasul Douglas was the epitome of a game changer this year.
Rasul Douglas, Nick, really? Jefferson
watch him
cooked
this
that
year?
motherfucker. Jefferson grilled that motherfucker like no tomorrow, dude. Jefferson made him look.
I think
Jefferson
Stokes
made
was
him
on
look
Jefferson,
silly.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
Jefferson
Stokes
baked
was
his
on
ass.
Jefferson. In
Jameis
fact,
don't
I
know,
remember,
bro.
I remember
Dude, they
Jefferson
put
catching
Rasul
the ball
Douglas
over
on him
Stokes
and he
was
got
caught up.
embarrassed.
Hey,
Russell
remember, you
Douglas
guys,
wasn't
you
on
got to
Jefferson.
talk slow when Jameis is on here, bro. He's gotta
Rasul Douglas got
comprehend that.
fucked over when they put him on Jefferson, bro. Don't play those games on here.
When was he on? I don't remember him on Jefferson.
I'll bring up the film. I'll bring the film up for you.
Bro, at the
Don't
end of
worry
the
about
game,
it.
We'll be waiting. I'm going to be counting on that film.
Rasul Douglas was
Hey,
playing on
hey, but
Cuba.
hey, before I pass the torch and let somebody else talk, this is the problem. The Green Bay has an offensive coordinator as a head coach who's faking. He's in over his head, bro. But how many times do I have to tell you this is the third straight year in a row that Matt LaFleur has fucked the season over? I blame Aaron Jones. I ain't gonna lie, I blame Aaron Jones versus the goddamn Buccaneers because he fumbled the goddamn game away with that soft ass hit. And he went and sat his soft ass on the sidelines looking. I tell y'all, Aaron Jones is a bitch. I'm just saying that. Dude, Matt LaFleur is not that good of a fucking head coach. And as soon as Green Bay gets rid of that motherfucker, they'll probably do something for real.
I'm glad that you're concerned about our team, going
Y'all need to
13-3,
fire that motherfucker, Bill.
Multiple seasons in a row. But don't
Y'all
you
need to
think you
fire
should
him,
take a little bit more time and effort on your no playoff having ass
I know.
team?
I know. It's easy to say. I'm telling you, bro. The regular season, it looks good. It looks like he's been doing a good job. But when it comes down to it, when the motherfucking money's on the line, when it's payday, that motherfucker's choking, bro.
Okay,
He's
so
gonna
I
choke.
got something for you. You
Here
have
we go.
such a good roster. You got such a good roster, but you guys 2 years in a row went below 500. Why is that?
Well, first of all, one of those years we were at exactly 500, so I don't know what you mean by below. So you need to come correct before you come at me with shit like that. We were below 100 one of those years. What do you ask me? What about it? You want the reason why we were there? That guy's gone, bro. We sent his ass packing. You still have LaFleur. We got a young.
You still have the same roster.
Hey, Simon.
The defense.
Simon, we got a young bad motherfucker over here, man.
1 year rentals.
I want you to talk about Kevin O'Connell. I don't want you to talk about the late drunk motherfucker, okay? We got a bad motherfucker over here now. Do you know who our offensive coordinator is? Wade Phillips' sons. Wes, he's a bad motherfucker, bro. Dude, we got some bad motherfuckers over here.
A lot of people think you're a homo, bro.
Damn, like damn, how many people?
You want to talk about
like 5 people in a row? You guys just can't
highlight me. Highlight me.
We
got to remember the Detroit Rams on our staff.
So we're talking about having playmakers on defense. So that means that let's stop talking about the Vikings who have literally none.
I was going to say the same thing. We can't put Vikings in that category.
Oh, you got Jericho on here, eh? Oh, damn. What do you mean where I've been?
He's been on here.
I think he's
he's all like
hour before. Johnson there.
Okay, let me give a shout out. Let me give a big shout out. Mike Carrico is the real deal.
He got muted.
I'm about to say, is that it?
They muted.
The most knowledgeable hockey fan I've ever met. And also, we got, my phone's going off again. Nick the Dick is a dick.
Calling someone the real deal could mean so many things. That could mean you met them in a back alley. That means that you could like they're good at bowling. Like, what does that mean?
You didn't let
I
him
think you
finish.
got a fetish for Mike or something.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
muted him.
fuck up.
Somebody
I gotta
unmuted
go. My wife's in the hospital, so I gotta go check on her. Hang on.
So Bears fans, we're trying to give you the floor. Start giving us all of what you wanted to talk about today. Obviously, you know, there's stuff going on with your team. It doesn't have to all be what's his face with the Vikings and then us talking about the Packers.
All right, Dan, the floor is yours, buddy.
Oh, thanks.
Oh my!
What do you want to see the Bears do this offseason?
What'd you say, John?
Here,
What do
Dan,
you
let me
guys
show you
want
how to
to
do
do?
it. Put it on me. I'll show you how to do it real quick. Put it on me, Bill.
I couldn't hear John.
Packers fans, if you're watching this, stop crying. Aaron Rodgers is coming back, and I don't want to see any
Somebody muted him.
Oh shit!
Get over yourselves. Aaron Rodgers is great. He doesn't have to be vaccinated, and neither do you. If you want to, go ahead. Either way, get over it. Get over it, Karen and Ken. What was it?
All right, so let's introduce everyone to the Homer.
You got it on the wrong motherfucker. I'm not
That's a really good comment right here. This is perfect.
Yeah. Hey, if you look, Nick, a lot of people commented that, bro.
Well, there hasn't been a whole.
It was
lot
a whole
new
line
stuff
of
with the
people.
Bears.
See,
Hey, you guys just don't even know what you're in for already.
I
I'm gonna
remember
tell you,
that
Bill.
last year. I
Hey,
remember that
Nick,
last year.
hey, John Dorn, I'm gonna really be on your ass because you told me that Kevin O'Connell was a clipboard holding coffee factory motherfucker. You told me he was a puppet. You told me he was a puppet. Yeah, that's okay. That's the word to use. Yeah, you told me he was fetching the coffee and that he doesn't know anything and that Shawnee Bay was making all the fucking calls, right? You're gonna realize he's a bad motherfucker real soon.
Yeah, I fucking suck at fucking winning games.
So what Jamez is saying is, if you were the towel boy for a Super Bowl winning team, you could head coach and win a Super Bowl.
Exactly, that's what he's trying to say.
well, I mean, that's coming from a fan base that hangs, divisional win banners. So,
Bro, you got 3 fan
You don't
bases
see
here
the
that do
Vikings do not hang banners, dude.
Because the trophy
and they don't collect
banners.
They apparently don't collect
I'll
rings
tell you-
either.
I'll tell you one thing.
He's like, we don't hang banners. We're like, we know.
Yeah, that's just like the Packers fans when y'all say that banner shit, but y'all reflect back onto that after y'all ass choked. Now it's we won the division and LaFleur's people's daddies. Y'all can't even say that shit no more because he's been even getting his ass spanked.
Let's go, Doug. When's the last time the Vikings won the division? 3 years in a row.
I don't know but I know it's the last. If I ever went one and done, if I wasn't doing shit during that time as a Vikings fan, I wouldn't feel good about it.
If it did happen, he wasn't
When the
alive.
Vikings and the Bears fans was winning this goddamn division, I didn't hear y'all giving any props about it. I didn't hear it one time. I didn't hear you guys in 2000. I didn't hear you guys saying, "Okay, congratulations on winning the division." So why do you want it now?
Hey, remember when you said that Packers can't win in U.S. Bank Stadium, and then we went there and we beat your ass, and then got crowned?
I never said.
And your fucking stadium.
Okay, so hey, Jamez, let me ask you this: you
told me you were sweeping the Vikings the last 2 years,
and you also said that your defense was stacked, and wasn't it like almost dead last?
Well, they were stacking
Did
up
you
for
or
Sharon
did you
Rodgers.
not say your defense was stacked?
They were stacking up for
look at
Sharon
you don't want to lie.
They were stacking up for Sharon Rodgers. Were they stacking up for Sharon Rodgers? Yes or no?
Don't misquote him. What he said was,
Were they
the
stacking
Vikings
up
are
for the
easily
MVP?
a top 10 defense. That's what he said.
Were we stacking up for the MVP? Yes or no?
Nope.
We could have. It must have looked like to me when motherfucking Kirk Cousins was out there shredding y'all ass.
You guys that game. What are you talking about? It wasn't because of Aaron Rodgers.
He killed us. It looked like he lost to me. It looked like his ass walked away with an L. He didn't do enough. Looked like he killed us. Nick, he killed us. Kirk Cousins had 341 for 3 touchdowns that game. 3 tutties.
Yeah, and he hung a banner right after that game, right in his bedroom.
So when Green Bay beats us, y'all are our daddy. But when we win, it's hang the banner. That's y'all Super Bowl. Which way is it, bro? You don't get it both ways.
It's because you never even make it to the offs. That's the problem. Bro.
Now we don't never make it to the offs. Well, I know one thing. The last time we made it, to the offs and we were one and done, we didn't get any credit from anybody about that.
No, we laughed at you, bro. We
didn't get any credit. Hell, even when we made it to the divisional round, we didn't get any fucking credit. So what makes you think we're supposed to be impressed by the Packers shit in the bed? That's the question.
Game when you guys had the #1 defense and you guys got your ass whooped?
That game was rigged. That was rigged. That was rigged. Rigged.
He said it was rigged. You better take an extra.
No, this plan, Bill wasn't rigged. I'm gonna tell you what happened in that game. That's why you need that's why you need an elite quarterback.
So Jamez, you just said Kirk Cousins had 341 for 3 touchdowns. Do you know what Rodgers had?
Was I lying?
He had 385 and 4 touchdowns.
Are you saying? I thought you
and 4 touchdowns.
Are you saying? How much of that came in the second half after he was already getting his ass pounded? After he was already getting his ass pounded, bro. Garbage time after he was getting his ass pounded into submission.
Yep. We were down by 3. He could have won the game. Garbage time. Yeah.
Dude, down by 3 could have won. You ain't had no chance on winning that game. You ain't had no chance on winning that game. Yeah. Hey Nick, you lost when you got off the bus that day, motherfucker. And if it weren't for Sean, if you would have saw Kirk Cousins twice, we would have brought the brooms out, and you know it, bitch. You know it.
Get on that same bus and get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Hey, no, the Packers probably would have won that game anyway, but you wouldn't have beat our ass like that. You wouldn't have ran the skill. You wouldn't have did Sean the way y'all did Sean Mannion. We're gonna get some payback for that. That wasn't nice.
We're terrified, man.
So where's this guy, John Sullivan?
John Sullivan.
I think he's somewhere not wiping.
He's got a date tonight. He said he's eating him. He eating him a little ass or something tonight.
So him and Elvin are on a movie night.
No, I don't know about that gay shit. I just know he might stop at the truck stop tonight.
I could have swore he's hanging out with Joe Thibodeau. Joe
Thibodeau.
That's CC.
I really wish that guy would come on the show, man. I really do.
Oh man.
That would be epic. We get him. Come on, he ain't gonna never do that. He's one of the most.
We can invite Giff, who will torch Jamez again.
Oh my god, dude! How somebody? I would like to know how is somebody that I taught the game of football to gonna fucking torch me? I've been training Giff over for like 4 straight years now.
Well, maybe you should take time and train your fucking football team, bro, because they're sure fucking looking like trash.
No,
maybe spend a little bit more time on that.
Listen. They don't pay me enough to do all that now, okay? But
I know because I see you smoking that ditch weed, man. I know you ain't making much.
Ditch weed. This that shit.
He's coughing up his lung.
Right here. This shit right here, Bill. This should have put you out, buddy.
Oh my God. Let's get back to the rest of the panel because right now it's just Jamez and a few people going back and forth. So why don't
I got a question actually for everybody for
get
the
rest of
panel.
Go for it, Mike.
Coming up to the draft, who do you think for your team needs first?
Well,
wide receiver.
The first pick, the Packers should fucking get a kicker. First pick in the fucking draft, get a kicker right off the bat.
So he can kick Jamez right in the ass, right?
The Packers pick ain't gonna be good enough to be nothing.
No, I'm hoping wide receiver in the first round. Rodgers needs a weapon.
Wide receiver or pass rusher.
Yeah, y'all might as well go hard in the draft to get y'all one because y'all know damn well y'all ain't got enough money to get one of them.
Hey, Jamez, are you guys going to draft a better quarterback or what?
Yeah, Carson.
I hear talk about. I hear talk about that, but I hope I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be happy about it if we do.
I actually wonder what the Bears are going to do. Like honestly, what is it?
Packer fans keep on telling me that that's a good move, but you know how many Packer fans? You know how many Packer fans are telling me that the Vikings should go quarterback, and they're making it seem like they're serious. They think that I don't know what they're doing.
Well, you need a quarterback, a secondary, some wide receivers, and O-line. You need a lot of things in the first round with one pick.
I'm
We need wide receivers.
I'm trying to be serious right here, right now. Look, you say offensive line, and I get that. Your offensive line is horrible, but free agency still exists. And if I'm being honest, when I watch the Packers, we pick up guys that everyone's like, oh, that guy sucks, and he ends up playing pretty well for us. So I kind of feel like you could venture that option.
True, but we're kind of stuck. We got 29 players assigned with about 26 million. I've said it numerous times. Khalil Mack needs to reconstruction and give some money back. That way we could possibly get somebody in free agency. Right now we're stuck in between 4 and 7 million tops for one player, and then
I think Justin Fields should give back some money too.
So here's what I was thinking. This comment that Joe Benavidez made was what I was thinking. Because look, if you're in the first round, you guys got a pretty good pick. There's this guy London for USC. I don't think you got. I think Allen Robinson and the Bears just don't exist anymore. I think that glue has melted away. You have to have more than just Mooney, obviously, right? Montgomery is pretty good out the backfield, but you can't use that as a consistent receiver, obviously. So if it's me, you could always get great value in the 4th, 5th, 6th round with offensive linemen, go hard in free agency. You could draft a great wide receiver in the first round, and that helps immensely.
We don't have a first round. We got a second round.
Second round.
I'm sorry.
What are you, 39?
39th overall.
Yeah.
I meant in the second round. If you have, so look, London's probably gonna be gone, but there's guys. This is a heavy wide receiver draft.
I'm
hoping wide receiver, but I think they get creative and get Cohen involved.
See,
they're gonna put him in
agree.
the slot or something.
You get a big physical receiver. You got speedy guys already. You got what's his name that was the punt returner? Williams, is that his name?
Grant.
Oh, Grant.
He's fast. I'm hoping for Mike personally.
So I'm just saying you got a lot of speedy guys already. If you have a big physical wide receiver, it would help a lot.
We need a big, tall guy.
Big, tall guy to get there.
The Bears actually trying to get a first round, like trading someone for first
I don't think we have enough capital to do that.
They have no one to trade for the first round.
Yeah. Well, you got Mack.
When's the next year that you guys have a first round pick?
Next year.
Next year.
You could always give up next year's first round and then this year, but that's a lot to get. You guys already are kicking that can down the road, so you might as well just take it for what it is.
I don't think folks are going to do that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea either. It's just unfortunate because if you had a first round pick this year, you'd have been really, really low on the board. You would have had a really good pick. You possibly could have got a great DN that falls. You possibly
Who gets your guys' pick this year?
Giants, right?
A 7th round pick too. A 7th round pick.
Wow.
I hope Justin Fields fucking was busted.
I'm just saying.
Bust.
I hope the fucker gets turf toe and misses half the season.
I get you guys want offensive linemen, but you don't have to go for it right away. There's other ways to go about it. Bakhtiari was what, 4th round pick, right? If I'm not mistaken.
4th. Winsley was a 5th.
See what I mean? There's always good value later on in the draft. We got Myers in the 5th, right?
Myers was a 7th.
Yeah, I don't think we need an offensive lineman in the 2nd round. I don't think we need to do that, but
well,
hopefully we get some.
What do you think you're going for then?
I think a wide receiver would be good in the 2nd.
Yeah. I don't think the Bears need to be drafting offensive linemen in the draft anyway because we got 2 young guys as it is. We need more veterans up there. That's my opinion.
Agreed.
See, and that's
we haven't even seen Jenkins at all, really.
Yeah, we saw 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, not much.
And that's the kind of stuff that I'm getting at. Like, this is just a hypothetical, even though it is a possibility. I've seen stuff where maybe Billy Turner gets released by Green Bay to save cap. What if Billy Turner gets released? Who? I know he's not amazing or nothing. That's not a guy that you're like, oh my God, I got to have him.
He's a decent right tackle.
Very
He just costs too much for the Bears, personally.
Yeah, he might
gonna
be
cost too much.
But you could do what Green Bay's done over the last couple of years. We'll grab someone that like Dennis Kelly or someone
or Wagner,
who's like
Wagner was good for us.
Yeah, some guy that's like a cheap low end tackle that could just fill a spot in a pinch.
Yeah.
And for the comments, Roquan Smith has been a beast since his rookie year.
Yeah, Roquan's a beast.
I do like Roquan.
And at the end of this year, he's going to get his payday.
Yeah, I like Roquan a lot.
That's the only
You
thing
guys
I would
might
give,
have Cap next year. You're
Ryan
going to lose
Pace
a lot of
credit
guys.
for.
What's
Yeah.
he say?
No,
That would be the only
Hicks
thing
is
I'd
a
give
free
Ryan
agent,
Pace
ain't he?
credit for is Roquan. Anything
Yeah.
else?
Hicks a free agent, right?
Not Roquan as we.
No, Hicks. He's a free agent, right?
Now, what if they trade Roquan away for a first-round pick?
They won't do it.
Oh, slap the fuck
Look at
out
all the
of
Bear
him.
fans. No,
Wait, wait,
no.
look, don't get rid of the only thing we got, Bill, okay?
It's our best defensive player,
Yeah.
I believe.
Quinn, you don't think Quinn is?
He's
I like
a good
Quinn, too.
offensive lineman. He did step it up this year. First year he didn't so well.
All right, so you keep Quinn, you trade Smith away for
Hey,
a first
that
round.
comment's funny as fuck.
No, keep
The
him
Raiders.
too.
Yeah, if you guys want Leatherwood, I'm sure the Raiders will give him to you. God, that guy is horrible.
That guy's bad.
That's funny.
I'm going to tell Joe to come on, in fact.
All right. Other than wide receiver and tackle, what else are you guys really looking at? Like, what else is high for you guys on
Well,
need?
you guys could always use a second running back, right? Because Montgomery seems to be a lone
We got
ranger.
Herbert. He's pretty good.
Herbert's pretty good.
He did run 100 yards on Tampa. I believe
the
the
Packers.
only one to do it.
Yeah,
Unless they did
okay.
last 3 weeks.
Fair enough.
I wasn't paying attention.
What about
What,
safety? You guys are
safety,
starting to get
possibly?
scarce on safety now.
Yeah, safety.
Yeah, I
Safety
definitely
possibly.
think we need a safety, whether it's in the draft or whether it's in free agency. We need to put Eddie Jackson back in his natural position.
Agreed.
Well, what are you guys looking at tight end?
Well,
I know you guys got
Fournette,
Fournette.
but he
Bro.
kind of sucked last year. He needs to get his act together.
Yeah, he had an interesting year.
What is he on? What is he on year 2 now? Come
Yeah,
on.
this would be his third
Yeah.
year, no?
Yeah, year
He
Third
got
year.
Justin James, too.
He's
not too
been
bad.
very, like, hit and
Up and
miss.
down. Yeah, he's up
He's
and
the
down.
epitome of inconsistent to me. Like,
Yeah, but I think he's shown a little. I don't know. Like from what I've seen, he's shown a little bit of progression, though, right?
I
In
think he
your guys'
drops
eyes?
the ball.
What's that?
look,
He drops the ball all the time.
Yeah.
Well, that's
'Cause
just because Justin Fields don't know how to throw the ball. That's why.
so you guys have Komet. You guys could look for another tight end like your Mercedes Lewis who helps you block. Because I mean, I didn't see Komet do a whole lot when he was blocking, to be honest.
No, I just think we need a tight end that can stretch the field a little bit too.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what we need as well. Is a tight end that can stretch, a big tight end that can stretch the field.
I
think
think
there's some
Komet can be
decent
good.
tight
I
ends.
just think that he hasn't had. I mean, I don't know. We've had too many problems to make any of our players be good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. So what was that nonsense about your Raiders? Let's hear this.
Oh, I just said that we would gladly trade Alex Leatherwood to the Bears for a 32 ounce of natural ice and a 7th rounder.
They
If you
might
guys
trade
wanna
you.
take a
They
chance on a
might.
young
They
guy.
might trade you Quinn for him.
Give us Khalil Mack back and we'll call it even.
Somebody said 2 years ago Quinn had 2 sacks. Try not to overrate that dude.
He did have a great year. He had a great year.
And he ends up with 18.5 sacks.
Jimmy Graham.
Hey, he had 9.5 last year. Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
The Bears,
Jimmy
the
Graham's
Bears should
done
go
for you guys,
receiver,
right?
though. The Bears should definitely either go offensive lineman or receiver.
I think receiver would be better because offensive linemen, there's so many ways you can get offensive linemen. For whatever reason, the Bears just don't choose to go that route. They just never do it.
Yeah, but cap space is an issue. Like Khalil Mack's
Exactly.
contract is huge. And so I think you're better off taking one in the draft. You know, you get him cheap.
Yeah.
And if he pans out for you, like you could have a starter for the next 10 years, you know.
Who else is taking up your guys' cap?
Quinn.
Khalil Mack and Quinn. That's the top two. That's what I was saying.
Cleveland.
Mack needs a,
you talking about the Bears?
Yeah, I
Isn't
totally
Allen
aware of
Robinson pretty big cap right now?
He's a free agent.
But he's a free
Yeah,
agent.
he's a free agent. Okay.
If
Don't
we
bring him back.
franchise, he'd be like 21.
Don't
I
bring.
forget
Don't
the
bring him
exact
back.
number. It's crazy.
Which is
Every
another
time I
reason that
watched
they
it-
should go receiver. Because
Whenever-
Allen Robinson is a free agent.
Yeah.
Okay, but whenever anybody bitched about Allen Robinson, I was sitting there. I was like, "Come on, guys! Like, he's obviously your best receiver, right?" And then all of a sudden, I started seeing those videos where he really does give up on the Bears. He gives up on plays. He just doesn't try anymore. He doesn't even look for the ball anymore. He just kind of runs and then doesn't. I'm like, wow, this guy really is falling off
Hey,
like that again.
Nick, if Matt Nagy was your head coach, you would give up too.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, after seeing all that stuff come out about Nagy, when people started talking shit about him once he was gone, like you can totally see how the team was not working for him. It was all hush while he was there, but they were not working for him.
I got 2 words for you. Realistically, the Chicago Bears are going to be last place in the division. Mark my words. Why?
2 words. Win the Super Bowl in 2023.
You want to know why?
Realistically, no. I'm telling you guys, like, shut the fuck up. Listen to me right now. Your scouting department hasn't been fucking going at it.
You talking the Bears?
Yeah, the Bears.
They got new everything. They got new scouts, everything. And don't forget, Foles was a scout, so he's a scout. I wouldn't say genius, but he knows.
Guys are so behind. So are the Minnesota Vikings, the Green Bay Packers.
How many games did you win? 3?
We have. You just hired the GM.
Cardinals, Packers, who?
Okay, Jericho. Listen to me.
You're not going to like my answer.
Listen to me, Jericho, listen to me. When you hire a first-time roofer and you ask him to do flashing, is he going to do a good job?
Depends.
That is such a Lions fan thing to say.
Use YouTube all day.
YouTube is where it's at.
Okay, if he has no experience, how is he going to be as a GM? Answer that question.
He's been in. Oh my God! I don't get it.
Okay, you're a first-time GM.
He's new. He's brand new. He was a scout, so I mean, obviously he's good at scouting. I'm not saying he's a great GM.
Mike Jericho, that's not a GM, Mike Jericho.
And he hired an assistant, by the way, to help.
You're gonna be last.
Everything's brand new. The Lions are probably gonna be last.
Packers are gonna beat you twice. The Vikings are gonna beat you twice, and
not happening.
Detroit Lions are going to beat you fucking twice.
Not happening. You haven't beat the Bears in how many years? You lost on Thanksgivings.
All right.
Thanksgivings.
My children, calm down. Listen, the thing that sucked for Nagy, this is what did him in. Trubisky was the absolute perfect quarterback for his system, and it was supposed to work, but Nagy just... It's his fault. I put full blame on Nagy because you clearly see that Trubisky is a lot better than we saw. Now, that brings me to another point. I saw something and I was very interested in it. I saw a lot of Packers fans give the dumbest responses I possibly could ever think of on this. Trubisky was linked to the Packers. Whether it's a rumor or not, it was interesting to me. It was intriguing. Now, Simon, I know that you saw these posts and we were talking about it. I actually was very intrigued with it. Like, what if Trubisky comes and has a backup? Because it's starting to look like it's inevitable that Jordan Love's going to be gone. And it looks like Rodgers is going to be here for probably a few years. That's what it's looking like anyways. I would not feel bad if Trubisky was a backup quarterback for us, sat behind us. He seems like a prototypical Matt LaFleur quarterback as well. Don't you think so?
He can't read a defense. And I don't think he'll go to the Pack. I think he's going to go somewhere and possibly start. Have a chance.
I think he's going to go somewhere and maybe start, but then they're going to realize that he's got a lot of bad habits that he learned when he was a Bear. He
like Justin Fields?
No, we don't put the blame on.
Here comes John Dorn, the fucking biggest happy in the world.
He learned a lot of bad habits, though, from doing things he shouldn't do.
Let's get back to the topic at hand and not do that. Simon,
did you see the improvement that
Simon,
Trubisky made?
Simon ain't talked in a minute. Go ahead, Simon.
The Bills, yeah. What do you want the Bills? I seen it.
What, in preseason? The quick slant worked.
Simon, go for it.
I mean, I don't know. I think right now is not a good. It's not going to happen because Brian Gutekunst already came out and he's already really bullish on Jordan Love, whether he actually believes it or not. They're not ready to fold on that decision one way or another. So it's just not going to happen. I do think it's kind of interesting though to see how we actually perform under a different, head coach and offensive coordinator. See if that maybe development was an issue in his time with the Bears, and stupid, and see if that was really the main issue. But it's just not going to happen in my opinion.
Then let me ask you then, Simon, if we did get Trubisky, cheap ass deal, and he did come as a backup, you wouldn't be happy about that?
Are you saying as like a way to maybe give Jordan Love some competition, or
maybe to bridge that gap of like
they're already just giving up on Jordan Love?
No, I think we'd still have Jordan Love, but to bridge that gap of uncertainty, like, hey, we have options, we have things we can do. Now Love is being pressured by Trubisky, right? I think that's a good idea.
If we get Trubisky, that means Green Bay's giving up on Jordan Love.
Exactly.
That's that, in my opinion.
And that 17 points is down the drain, right, John?
If Rodgers comes back, do you think we should give up on Jordan Love?
Nick,
if Rodgers comes back, so that for me that depends.
Can ask a question. Nick the Dick can ask a question to Simon.
Nick the Dick.
You gotta have 5 wins to ask a question.
Simon, why do you wear a toque when you're inside?
Why do I wear a what?
A toque.
What the fuck is a toque?
I don't know either.
I'm pretty sure
that's a Canadian thing. That's a Canadian thing.
You just make up words and phrases and shit. I've never
He does. You're like, what the fuck?
It's just for like the game. It's actually kind of warm in here.
Dude, he literally
there's a bird in the Amazon.
Question. Why do you wear the toque, the hat?
Because I hate the way my hair looks.
Dude, he literally just a little while ago said that Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff were comparable, and you're taking anything this dude says seriously? Like,
hey, Darcy, why do you wear Fastigio?
To go back to Nick's question, it depends. Because this is Jordan Love's 3rd year. If they give Rodgers a 2-year extension, that'll put him at 5 years. And so they'll have to make a decision on Jordan Love next year. They could still push it 1 more year. And then they have an option as 5th-year option. Okay.
I'd like to see what Clemens does with Love, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not blowing Jordan Love, but I'm not off his train yet.
Yeah. I want to see him play a couple of games in a row.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, I mean,
that's where I'm at with it.
Hey, could I say something about Mitchell Trubisky?
Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think like he did learn a lot of bad habits in Chicago, but he looked really good playing for the Bills. And I think that he could go somewhere and start. And I don't think that he's necessarily going to bust out if he does go start. And I'll tell you why. Because Josh Allen, when he first started, like he showed flashes, but he had, it took him a couple years to really get to what he is now. So I don't give all the credit to Josh Allen. I think he's incredibly talented, but I think that Daboll and their quarterbacks coach, Ken Dorsey, had something to do with it as well. And so I think that if they could help mold Josh Allen, that why couldn't they do the same with Trubisky and sort of get rid of those bad habits? Mainly Ken Dorsey, the quarterbacks coach. I think he's a really good quarterbacks coach. And so he's actually been talked about as getting an offensive coordinator job. I think that, why couldn't they clean up Trubisky? And I think you sort of saw that he has made improvements. So, he could start somewhere. And I think it would be good for the Packers if they got him as a backup because – there are worse things than sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for a couple years and getting even better.
Trubisky's had other games when he was with the Bears where he looked really good too. Like that, what did he have? 6 touchdowns or something against the Bucks that one game, and people were saying he was like the best ever. But he still sucked. He has moments where he's good, but he's not.
I think Trubisky would go for the Giants. To tell you the truth,
that is true.
I think Giants should take a snap out at him.
Yeah, he probably better than fucking. They can take him, but then we'll beat him, so that'll be nice.
But you got to think about when was the last time the Bears put up 30 points on anybody? Like Matt Nagy's offense was terrible. That's what I'm saying. Their offense is terrible. So is it really Mitchell Trubisky that's terrible, or is it Matt Nagy's offense that's terrible? Because I can literally not remember one time. I cannot remember one time that the Bears have put up 30 points on somebody in the last 10 years.
John, you want to call him the quarterback?
The last couple of seasons.
It was against Tampa. If we did 6 touchdowns, That's because the fucking defense kept on getting turnovers and shit and giving good field position. It was good.
John Doran said Matt Nagy's the quarterback killer.
Yes.
Looks like something at the right time. Hear John be a homer.
What am I being a homer about?
Was that you? Who was saying that the Trubisky or the Bears no 30-point games in 10 years?
Was it me?
No, that's what Joe said.
Oh, that was Joe.
I was being sarcastic, but I honestly can't remember the last time they put
The
up
best
30
game
points.
I seen was against Tampa when we had 6 touchdowns.
Well, Trubisky had a 6-touchdown game.
That was the Bucks. I just talked about that.
Yep. So I mean, there's one in the last 3 years. So there goes that argument.
But that was
Okay,
like it was not.
he said, well, there was one, so there goes that argument. So your whole point is like moot, right? Like,
Stan
come
gives
on,
you
bud.
one within 30 seconds.
You gave me one game, dude. One game. Come on, bud. Like, how many times has Aaron Rodgers put up 30 points in the last 3 years?
But otherwise,
Jericho and Nick the Dick, I'm going to say my last statement. What if happens that you guys lose to my Detroit Lions at least once this year?
Oh,
we lose to the Detroit Lions.
Can you do it? Can you do it?
No.
You're not going to lose to the Detroit Lions at least once this year?
No.
Okay, good night, guys.
Right.
Darcy, we're talking football, not hockey. Calm down.
Well, I don't know. Can the Red Wings actually be anyone either? I don't know.
No, they're a 500 team right now.
So,
the
get back
Lions
on
wish they
track.
knew what 500 was like.
So we got a Raiders fan here on the panel.
I don't know. Vikings the same way.
We know that the Raiders don't have a quarterback, so Trubisky's an option there as well.
Yeah.
What do you realistically see the Raiders doing this year now that you've changed everything once again?
Well, they didn't change everything, but they did change their entire staff. Like, and we do have. I think Derek Carr is a pretty decent quarterback, actually. You know, and I think a lot of people on the panel might agree. Like, I bet the Bears would love to have Derek Carr right now.
What do you think of Justin Fields, Joe? We don't talk about the Bears that often. What do you think of Justin Fields?
Justin Fields, I read something about him the other day that has really surprised me.
Think?
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, this kind of changed what I think a little bit. Because at first I thought like the Bears are in trouble. Because I when I watched him play, he throws the ball in the dirt a lot, like sort of like Trey Lance or Colin Kaepernick, like on these short passes, like he'll throw it at his receiver's feet, and it's like,
and kind of like what I got to earlier, right? How he like kills the ball to his receiver for some reason. I don't know why he does that.
Yeah, but I'm talking about literally. I'm talking about literally spiking it in the dirt, though. And I'm like, what is he doing? You know. But on the deep passes, he seems to be able to do it pretty well. And but I read a statistic like he was actually first in the NFL in tight window throws, which is something that actually surprised me. So it means that there is hope for him if he can. You know, I totally agree with Nick on that one thing that I think he needs to learn how to put more touch on his passes. If he can do that, I think like he could really be good because he has all the other tools. You know, he needs some protection, number one, because, you know, nobody's going to be successful when you're getting sacked 1.5 seconds after you get the ball. But, you know, I think he has the tools, but he just needs some refining. I think he needs touch is something that I think I'm not sure if you can teach it, but maybe you can. And if you can, if he learns it, he could be good, I think.
He needs experience.
And he needs touch.
Yep.
He needs to learn how to touch.
Hey, hold on a second. Let me get in the Woody position. Hold on. There, am I laying down in bed yet?
He needs coaches who want to make him better and not just save their job. So hopefully those coaches can do that this year and that they'll actually be good. But we don't know.
And he needs a receiver. Like he's gonna need some receiver help. Somebody that can get open fast because, you know, if your line is what it is last year, like, you know, he's gonna need a receiver that can get separation in like 0.8 seconds.
Yeah, it seems like he had tunnel vision with Mooney. You know,
that's because that's the only guy he worked with.
Like Rodgers and Adams.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the part of the problem though goes back to Nagy again on that O line. Going back to the draft last year when we got Fields, and you listen to NFL Network, oh, the Bears are a top third O line, and Mike, you remember I said it to you. I was like, can you believe they're saying we're a top third O line? Are they smoking something? And as the season went on, they obviously weren't. However, did you notice that when they were aggressively running the ball, the O-line on pass block was 100 times better? When they had that mix of run the pass, that O-line provided decent, sometimes really good protection. But if it was throw, and everyone knew it was throw, they might as well have been Swiss cheese. I mean, it was ridiculously bad. So I don't know if it was as much as the O-line personnel as much of scheme and play call.
Yeah, play calls have always been terrible. Like
that's not a bad take actually for Ken, and I think it goes even further than that. I don't think it's just a Bears problem. I think that's an NFL problem. Like anytime you have to just throw, then the defense knows you're going to throw, and so they're just going to, the pass rushers are just going to pin their ears back. So it makes it more difficult on your offense, on any offensive line.
Well,
so I actually agree with what you're saying.
Jay Butler would get the rap you would get, or Stafford would get the rap you would get, because at the end of game, you're down 2 scores. Everyone knows you have to throw, and that's when their picks happen. I mean, it's just that one aspect that fans always ignore, because they don't realize that everyone on the planet knows you're throwing the ball. That's when interceptions and other crap happens. But when you look at the quarterbacks who don't get in that situation, i.e. Rodgers, i.e. Brady, more times than not, right? You don't see that knock on them. Why? Because they're never in that position where everyone on the planet knows they're going to throw the ball for the next quarter and a half.
Yeah. And let's also not forget that he was a rookie. Like, I think a lot of people are writing him off after his rookie season, and I think that's foolish.
NFL now, bro.
I think he didn't even have a whole season.
Yeah, it's like I think it's premature. I think it's premature to call him a bust at this point. Like he showed me some flashes that he could. I mean, do I see like he's going to be like a Russell Wilson? Maybe not, but like he showed he could throw the ball in certain situations. Like I saw him throw some really nice passes last year.
He's
some really nice
balls. He's good at deep balls.
Yeah, I saw him throw some really nice deep balls last year.
The problem with the expectation in the NFL now is if you're drafted in the top 15 picks and you're an NFL and you're a quarterback, you got to be ready to go now and be at a Pro Bowl level day one. That's how.
That's what I was going to say.
And that's super unrealistic.
I don't mean the people in this panel, right?
That's super unrealistic to expect that.
It is, but that's what the fans who.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying it's unrealistic to expect that. For a rookie quarterback to come in and be Aaron Rodgers is ridiculous.
Well, yeah,
especially throwing him in the mess that we had. I mean, we had a freaking mess.
I don't like that. And I'll tell you why. This is why I don't like that. Because Aaron Rodgers has been thrown into some really shitty situations. And I watched the guy with a wide receiver at running back, brought back James Jones because Jordy Nelson tore his ACL. James Jones just got cut from the Raiders and then the Giants. He ended up being their best receiver at the time because we didn't have any receivers. We had one of the worst defenses in the league, and we still got to the NFC Championship game where we got blown out by the Falcons. I don't like that where it's like, well, he was thrown in a bad situation. There's plenty of quarterbacks that are thrown in bad situations, like Justin Herbert. That's not a great situation. He's doing pretty well. So I think you need to put a little bit more pressure on Justin Fields. Maybe there's a lot that you need to work on as well. Hey, maybe the team wasn't as favorable at the same time. You can't just blame the whole thing on the Bears.
Nick,
Justin Fields also has to make plays.
You're talking about a guy who's got a decade plus league and a rookie. That's a light years of knowledge and difference away. I mean, the thing is, like, Rodgers wasn't a first-year. Rodgers wasn't drafted and made starter day one and expected, or wasn't drafted and nothing was expected of Rodgers when he was drafted. He sat on the bench for 2-3 years behind
There's
Favre.
people that believe that hinders your progress, though, at the same time as there's people that believe that it doesn't.
I mean, and they say, well, what about Andrew Luck? First year bombed, right? I mean,
Did you say first year bomb? He broke all the rookie records his first year.
The team, but what did the team do?
Yeah, but how many turnovers did he had? He had to have like 20-some turnovers too.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. We cherry pick.
You can't say he was a bum his first year, though.
No, I didn't say bum.
He wasn't good though.
He wasn't.
I'm not saying he's great, but I'd say for a rookie, he did pretty well.
But But see, the problem is when they look in the context of the argument I was making. People say, "Well, look, Andrew Luck was so great." No, he really wasn't his rookie year.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, and he was a starter the whole time without the weird scenario pressures here that let's say Fields had this year. Because let's face it, he had controversy the second he was drafted. I mean, whereas Andrew Luck didn't. Right? I mean, we look at RG3 is a great example. He came out like blockbuster.
If he didn't get hurt, though, he'd probably still be pretty good.
We didn't know who was playing on a weekly basis or who's going to start. I mean, it was changing all the time.
I get that the team wasn't good and you had a whole lot of discrepancies. There was a lot of but at the same time, you guys drafted that guy pretty high. He still needs to be held accountable for
what were your expectations? What were your honest expectations for Justin Fields then?
My expectations.
No, Nick.
People will tell you that. A lot.
My honest expectations was that he wasn't going to play year one. That was my honest.
All I heard from Bear fans was that you guys are taking over the North and everything else first year.
I genuinely thought that Andrew Luck. God, now we're talking about Andrew Luck. Andy Dalton. Okay, I honestly thought Andy Dalton would play at least 14 of the 17 games. I thought that was kind of how it would go.
My was Dalton to start the whole year unless injured and can't play, in which case he only goes if Nick Foles can't. That was how I developed him for the whole year and do some spot situation. And they started with the spot situation early, right? But then Dalton gets hurt, they skip Foles and go straight to him. So
and then he did okay, and then they were going to stick with him,
Well, this is one of the things I don't like about Matt Nagy is when the fans are the fans basically force you to play Fields, and it's like, why? Like, why don't you grow some balls and go, no, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to stick with it. That's more so how you command respect, no matter who's telling you what you should do, right?
That was very much Nagy knew he was on the hot seat, though.
But Nagy's always been about the perception of who he is.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
That's the whole thing with the club dub. I mean, what the hell was that all on social and on TV for when you can't? You're losing games, you're not winning enough, and you want to make this big deal and this big show about what a great coach you are and how much everybody loves you and the culture. When now we know it was a farce anyway. He's just all about perception of what everybody thinks about him, not what he can actually do.
So this is Bears culture with the Bears media culture. Another great example is Jay Cutler, right? They basically ran Jay Cutler out of town.
Yeah.
And now they're like, man, Jay was actually fired.
He was your best quarterback ever.
I like smoking Jay.
His numbers. He's got better.
Do you know why Bears the Bears
Hold on, dude.
Organization hates Jay Cutler is because Jay Cutler could do great things against other teams. The one thing he couldn't do was play well against the Packers. And that's like a criteria to be a Bears quarterback. If you can't beat the Packers, then you don't need to be here. That's like
But he gets a lot of bullshit, and he was a lot tougher than people give him credit for. The dude was hurt all the time.
Like Nick, I've said this to you before. The only reason he won a Super Bowl in 2010 is because he tore his ACL in the first half, and Lovie Smith wouldn't let him play the second.
But did we beat you guys 3 weeks before that? Did we beat you guys 3 weeks before that?
That's
what? You do realize Caleb Haney played, $1.5 million times better than Jay Cutler did?
When Cutler left that NFC Championship game, that's when you guys took over.
No, when Jay Cutler left that NFC Championship game, that was the second you actually had a chance to win the game.
Yeah, that's an L take.
Dude, hold on. Jay Cutler, he wasn't the worst quarterback there ever was. He did some good things. I watched him in Denver and in Chicago. But, let's be honest here, dude. I could break down Jay Cutler for you in, 30 seconds, dude. Jay Cutler, a good game for Jay Cutler would be 63% completion percentage, 340 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, maybe 3 picks. A bad game for Jay Cutler would be 50% completion percentage, 165 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 4 picks. You see the consistency there? There's
pretty
one
consistent, though, and we had good defense who would make up for that.
The consistent thing about Jay Cutler was that he was going to throw at least 2 interceptions in every single game he played.
But see, once again, though, Joe, you got to go back to what we were saying earlier about situational. Because a lot of his interceptions were the third and fourth quarter. This is where him and Mr. Corona guy, who have basically the same career numbers, but everyone
Romo.
loves Romo. Their career numbers are about the same, but this is where they both made their mistakes. Were in that third, fourth quarter when everyone knew they had to do nothing more than throw. And yeah, was Cutler a gunslinger? Yeah, he would try to thread a needle between 3 defenders, and you know what? 8 times out of 10 he would. Unfortunately,
he would try to thread a needle between a brick wall is his problem. Like
the problem is when you're down like they were usually down and he's doing it, and everyone knows you're going to do it, and you're not running the ball because when he had Lovey there, Lovey hated to run the ball. I mean, which is so not the DNA of Chicago.
So Ken, I pretty much got you checkmated with my boy Joe here. I literally have someone on this panel who sat next to me in person and watched the NFC Championship game. His name is Joe Benavidez.
Oh God, dude! I had to watch. I was forced to watch that whole playoffs with Nick, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life. I just want to say, like, every week I was like, the Packers are going to lose this week, bud, and then they beat the Falcons by like 40 fucking points, and it was like, and every touchdown I had to watch Nick come out of his seat and go to the rancho, like in my ear, dude, the whole time.
Or
and I was
when
just
Michael
like,
Vick
oh
threw
God.
that interception, and I was like, Joe, what you? Oh man. So, anyways, my point is, Joe, if Jay Cutler stayed in that game, do the Bears win that game somehow? Like,
Dude, no, absolutely not. Like, but it didn't really matter because I don't think anybody was beating the Packers when it really mattered that year. Like it's not so much that they were like the best overall team, like as far as talent, but they just certain teams, like look at the Bengals this year. It's like sometimes teams just play as a team and they just make plays when it matters, dude. And it's guys that you don't expect. Like everybody contributes, like the Niners this year did a good job of that. The Bengals this year did a good job of that. Like where maybe they aren't as good as they
clicked at before you answer, Ken, real quick. Hold on, Ken. Before you answer, Samantha is also a Bears fan. I want to hear your take on this. If Jay Cutler stays in that game, do you guys win that game?
Well, that's the problem with Cutler is you never knew if he was going to pull it through or not. I mean, there was definitely a chance that we could have won the game. And that's why Bears fans are pissed at him and hate him is because he didn't stay in the game. They think he should have been tough and pushed through it. But
so if your answer is yes, then that's fine. But just tell me yes. Is it yes or no?
I think yes, there's a chance.
Do you think that they cemented your answer in yes, you think that they win that game?
Yes, we win.
Oh God!
And Nick,
hey, did somebody say that he had a torn ACL in that game?
Oh, Nick, let me say something off what Samantha said because Samantha said something that was key, right? Because after that game, Bears fans and media especially hated him because he didn't tough it out and finish the game. Years later, we find out that he had a torn ACL and he begged, he pleaded.
Yep.
He wrote the reason he was riding the bike in the second half.
He was trying to show he could do it.
Dumbass, I can do this. Let me in.
Yep.
No, you're hurt. We're going with Caleb. He did everything he could to get in that game, and it was Lovie Smith who kept them from playing in that game.
That's what I'm saying. Is people want to give him shit, but he was tough. He was always willing to play through injuries, and they didn't let him go back in.
Yeah, that's great for him. That shows a lot of toughness and a lot of balls. But let me ask you something. Like this sort of like shows the preposterousness of the argument right here. Like you're saying that a quarterback with a torn ACL was going to go back in the second half and win the game. Like with a torn ACL.
Not only that, a guy who never played well against Green Bay ever. He never played well against Green Bay.
Yeah, but I'm willing to take that part out of the equation
but
and
Hart
just like
can do a lot.
let's just let it.
Hart. We'll tell that to Brett Favre, who let us down many times.
Have you ever seen somebody go in with a torn ACL and win a game?
So let me take a step further because
did he win a game with a torn ACL?
I think he had a torn
If he
ACL.
did, that's incredible. I'm just saying,
wait. What about Carson Wentz?
Did he do that?
Yeah, didn't he tear his ACL and then throw a touchdown to win the game?
Yeah, he did.
Damn,
what game was that?
That was against the Rams when he was supposed to win MVP and he ended up not because he tore his ACL.
And guys, even just to take it, not just that NFC Championship game, but the whole situation in Chicago, the whole landscape, with the way the media, the fans, everything else would have been, if they had known the truth, right? I think there's a whole different book written on Jay Cutler, right? If Jay Cutler was allowed to go in there with a torn ACL, and let's say, you know what, Nick, let me say this. Let's say the Packers win anyways, but he went in there with a torn ACL, and they let him go in, and he fucks up the knee worse. He keeps them close. The Packers still win, but then it's put out there that, dude, he did this with a torn ACL.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that the book on Jay Cutler wouldn't be completely different across the league, because they love Tony Romo, whose numbers career-wise are worse than Jay Cutler's. And Tony Romo's great, but Jay Cutler's terrible.
Actually,
I don't think Jake.
I don't know.
I don't think
I can't
anybody
speak for
is
everyone.
In what
logically
facet
talking.
is hold on? In what facet is Tony Romo worse than Jay Cutler?
In every statistical category.
What about interceptions?
Yep.
No.
Are you talking about
I
career
don't
numbers?
think
Or are you
that's
talking
true
about
at all.
averages?
Career numbers.
Yeah, that's not true
And
at
here's
all.
the funny thing. Here's even the funnier thing about
I'll
Romo.
bet you on that.
This is how so intrinsically tied they are. Their career numbers are, right, Jay's a little bit better in career numbers, but you know who they both have better career numbers in? A bunch of Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
Like
but
Dan
overall career numbers get skewed as time goes on because people are starting to beat out guys that have been, have those career numbers for a while because the passing game has evolved in the league. So now even, who's a good example? Like Eli Manning, for example. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback, but he played for so long, and the passing game and the NFL has evolved so much that he slipped in, I'm pretty sure, the top 10 of most career statistical categories.
Well, he's got 2 Super Bowl wins, so he'll get in the Hall
I
of
don't.
Fame.
I don't care about two. I don't. Eli Manning was the epitome of mediocre QB play.
Yeah.
I don't think
he'll
he
still
belongs in the
get
Hall
in
of
the Hall of
Fame.
Fame.
You
though,
can't
Simon.
take career numbers and use that as an argument, because if Tony Romo's averages, because Tony Romo's career was cut a little short. If Tony
Not
Romo's,
really.
I think if he didn't fuck up his back, he would have played many more years.
He
But
probably
I think Jay played maybe a season longer.
No, but you got look at the argument here.
I thought he played a few seasons. But anyways,
The argument here
if
is how the-
Tony Romo's averages are better, then you can't use that same argument. It's like when Drew
I'm
Brees'
talking about
career
how-
numbers are better than Rodgers, right? But that doesn't make sense because Rodgers'
Hold on.
average
Let me
statistically
stop
is
you,
better
Nick.
than Drew Brees
You-
at just about everything.
Nick, I'm saying is the argument is how Cutler is perceived, right? Because everyone loved Romo. Romo was a great guy. Romo,
I
this,
didn't
that.
love
Now,
Romo. My wife is a
Me neither.
Cowboys fan. She doesn't love Romo. Well, she loves him as a person, not as a quarterback.
Now, where everyone's like, oh, Romo's this, he's that. It's all people are nice and fuzzy about Romo. And then it's Jay, oh, he's a bum, had no heart, this, that, the other. If they let Jay play that game in 2010, is what I'm saying.
Think about it though. Think about it though. Jay Cutler played for the Bears, and there's a lot of fan bases that don't give a flying fuck about the Bears, whereas Tony Romo played for the Cowboys, and that's the biggest fan base in the world for the
Nick,
NFL.
you're still not looking at the argument right. What I'm saying, you're not getting the argument, Nick, is what I'm telling you. The way that Cutler's perceived by everyone completely changes if he plays the second half of that 2010 game where there was, sprain, tear, whatever. And when you look at, and by comparison, you can look at how Romo was kind of lauded his whole career, but really his numbers don't support the lauding.
I disagree with you though, because Tony Romo was talked shit about every week of his career.
Yeah, Tony Romo got a lot of shit too for all of his playoff jokes and stuff.
I agree.
Bro,
Give him
Bro,
shit.
when the internet was created, you literally walked onto Facebook and the first thing was Tony Romo sucks. So I just disagree with that.
Not just that, but I don't think everybody calls Jay Cutler a bum either, because I don't personally think he was a bum.
I think his perception of who he is changes, and the internet honestly helps Jay, because Jay is great online and people love him online, his Instagram and his podcasts and stuff. He's
okay, but
hilarious.
Samantha, at the same time on the field, his perception was that he's a dick, right?
Yeah,
well, there's
but
a lot
I
of
like
quarterbacks
it,
that were
so.
dicks.
I'm just
There's
saying,
a lot of quarterbacks that were dicks,
she's
though.
bringing up a good point where perception has a lot to do with it because just
Mhm.
like Aaron Rodgers, who so many people say he's a great guy, actually, if you actually met the guy, if you actually listen to what the guy says, and then there's people that go, well, I just don't like how he's arrogant and on the field and in the vaccine, all this external shit, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I get what you're saying when you say that because Jay Cutler might actually, I've never met the guy, but he may have very well been a really good guy.
He is really
very
good.
likable.
For those of
He is likable.
He's not far from me here. He buys his bikes from my dealership that I used to work at. The guy who handles the sales is, by the way, a Bears fan. Jay comes in when he bought his first bike. Hey, come to my house for a party.
Really?
Yeah, he is a super. If you get to meet Jay, super cool dude.
Did you meet Christian Cavallari?
No.
Oh, what the fuck, man! You can't meet Jay Cutler without Kristen. What the fuck?
Well, they kind of went there, and then he bought a house.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Honestly,
I'm
though,
just
like
saying,
I don't
Jay's
shit
welcome
on
at my
Cutler
house
though.
anytime for a party.
Yeah, and
I don't know
Cutler was
anybody
a
that
bum,
does.
like,
To be honest with you, I
Simon
don't know
thinks he's a
anybody
bum,
that.
But let's be honest. Let's be honest in the grand scheme of playing the position of quarterback. Jay Cutler was nowhere near, let's say, Brad Johnson, right? He was clearly better than that guy who won a Super Bowl. He's clearly better than Trent Dilfer. He's clearly better than Rex Grossman, right?
Yep.
So it's something that has to do with this is just the way I see it. I really think the fact that he just couldn't beat the Packers, I think that tarnishes a lot of what people perceive about the guy. I really think so.
I don't know about that.
What do you mean? That was his biggest obstacle, and he could never do it.
I agree because to Bears fans, we could go a whole season, lose every game, but as long as we beat the Packers, then we're happy.
Yeah, I don't have that. I'm not in your guys's, like I'm not a North fan, so I don't have that same. But I can sort of relate, I guess, if it was like the Chiefs or the Chargers or whatever, the Broncos. But like to me, I look at Cutler and Romo kind of the same way as like they're both pretty good quarterbacks, but they're just unfortunately they fall into that crack of being like better than a bad quarterback, but not quite elite. Like they're not Hall of Fame guys, I think they just fall like into that, unfortunately, into that category.
I think if both guys had better teams and or not better teams, maybe like in Jay's case, Lovie Smith was not the best offensive-minded coach. His best look at Lovie's best offense his entire 10 years as Bears coach was the Rex Grossman year of the Super Bowl when they ranked 15 in the league. Cutler he never got that offense that he could, and he did get it when Gase came to town, and he had the number 2 ranked offense in the NFL. But the Bears defense was literally the worst defense in the NFL, putting up the worst numbers in the history of the Bears that year. Then Gase goes off to Miami to be a coach, and he goes back to mediocre OCs again. So, I mean, I think that's the other part of the Bears is we've never been a throwing team. Our DNA is what? Running backs and linebackers. And Cutler kind of changed that DNA because you could throw with Cutler. He had the arm strength to do it. He had the toughness to take a hit, run out of the pocket, do some crazy crap. Kind of like another guy who could have changed the position for the Bears, but got cut short. Jim McMahon, because Jim McMahon had an arm strength. He would toughness, take hits.
I'm sorry, but Jim McMahon was a horrible quarterback. He was a terrible quarterback.
Well, he was.
Nick and I have had that conversation before. Nick does not like Jim McMahon at all.
It's not that I don't like him. It's that he's like.
Well, you know what I mean by you don't like him. You just think he sucked.
Hey,
I don't think he was a good quarterback at all. He was terrible.
Say what?
I can say the real reason why Nick doesn't like Jim McMahon.
Because he won the Super Bowl.
Oh, because of the presidential thing with the Bears. No, that's not why.
That's
not why.
He wins a ring with the Packers. He goes to the White House in a Bears jersey.
It's the same thing as Terry
That's why the
Bradshaw.
Bears love him so much. I mean, they probably love him more for that than winning the Super Bowl, to be honest.
He's clearly the Bears gold winner as far as quarterbacks go. Like, they love the guy. But let's be honest, like, he reminds me a lot of when people talk about Troy Aikman or Terry Bradshaw. Those were not great quarterbacks. They weren't amazing. They were not great.
He had great, but those guys had great teams with great schemes and things that make them good.
Your boy Jim McMahon had an amazing team, and he was a horrible quarterback.
He had an amazing defense. He had the best running back in all time and one of the fastest receivers, and that was about it. Yeah.
So
that should be enough.
Yeah.
I mean, the 85 Bears defense is still talked about as the greatest defense ever assembled. So I think that counts for something.
Yeah. And that offense does get overshadowed in 85 because that offense put up some points without the defense too.
And he had Walter Payton, correct?
Yeah, Walter Payton and Willie Gault. Willie Gault was world-class speed at that point. Gault was blowing past people.
But he had Walter Payton too. That helps.
Yeah, I mean
that certainly helps.
He was on track to be, and then he took the injury, and that kind of derailed him because that forever messed up his shoulder. But I mean, Cutler for the Bears was kind of like, it wasn't in their DNA, and we've never gotten outside of Adam Gase in the last decade an OC that actually moves the Bears offense well. Gase, though, when you had Gase Cutler, that offense was ridiculously good. It just, unfortunately for Cutler, coincides with the worst defense in Bears history.
Okay, so let me ask you this, to sum up what you're saying or your argument, are you saying that Cutler is a Hall of Fame talent?
I think if Cutler was given, he could have.
I'm asking the question, Nick.
No,
Nick's over there laughing, but I'm asking the question.
The way his career stands now, no, but the potential was definitely there.
That's what I asked. I said, was he a Hall of Fame talent?
Real quick, guys. Hold on, real quick. Here's what we're gonna do. I have to end the show. It's been way past our time. We're gonna continue this argument, even though I'm gonna end the show.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody, for watching Frozen Tundra Network, baby. Get back at us next week. We're gonna have no more collaborations at this point. I'm gonna end that because we're gonna get back to Frozen Tundra Network, baby. But tune in next week.